Hello and welcome to today's class, linear equation, a new topic that we're tackling. And I hope that if you're new to the channel, maybe you've looked at algebraic equations. That is, if you're struggling with algebra, because I mean, if you're comfortable with algebra, then linear equation just comes to you naturally, because you then are able to approach variables and terms with a clear mindset. So basically, what is linear equation now? That's the first thing you basically want to know. So linear equation is simply an equation, of a straight line. All right. So it's an equation of a straight line, and usually these equations of straight lines are represented using two variables, or sometimes just a singular variables. Okay. So one thing I want you to note is linear equation, other than being an equation of a straight line, can be represented using one unknown. Okay. One unknown or variable, or can be represented at times using two unknowns. All right. Using two unknowns. Awesome. So linear equations sometimes, as I've said, can be represented using just one unknown and sometimes using two unknowns. And so in this particular class, we'll be focusing on these two different scenarios separately. So we'll look at linear equations expressed using one unknown, all right? And then we'll move on to linear equations expressed using two unknowns. Awesome. So that will be it for that will be it for the introduction. So why don't we go ahead and tackle linear equations as it involves, involving one or singular unknowns. Awesome. So we're going to start by looking at linear equations involving one unknown, or just one unknown variable. All right. So we look at the example that I have given there. Let's try and solve it. So we're supposed to solve for x, and I want you to notice that this particular equation only has one single variable, and that is x. Okay. That is the situation that we'll be dealing with in this particular video. And so to solve for x in this particular case will be easy. All right. So we're going to have x in the left hand side of the equation, and the numbers in the right hand side of the equation. So basically, we're going to have 3x being equal to 10 minus 4. Now, why is it minus 4? It's minus 4 because when positive 4 is taken to the right hand side of the equation, or right hand side of the equation, it changes its sign. Okay. So that is why it is minus 4. So after this, basically notice we are going to have 3x being equal to 6. That is 10 minus 4. And so for us to solve for x, we will divide both sides by 2. Okay. We'll divide both sides by 3. Sorry. We'll divide both sides by 3. Sorry. We'll divide both sides by 3. And so when we divide 3x by 3, we are going to remain with x. And when divide 6 by 3, we're going to have 2. And that will be the solution for x in this particular equation. Very simple. Why don't you handle another example so that it sinks in more than it has already? Awesome. For example 2, we're going to handle another problem. All right. So basically, it is p plus 5 all over 3 equals to 5 all over 4. I want you to note, though, that just a minute. Yes. So I want you to note, though, that we only have one unknown here. All right. We only have one unknown here, and that is p. P is the only unknown. Remember, we are solving linear equations that only involves, at this particular stage, that only involves one unknown. And so P, being the only unknown in this particular case, will be very easy to solve. So we are going to first start by multiplying both the left and the right hand side. Whatever we do to the left hand side, we'll do to the right hand side, by the LCM of the denominators that we're seeing here. So we have the denominators 3 and 4. We're going to therefore multiply the right hand side by the LCM of 3 and 4, which is 12, and also multiply the right hand side by 12. That's okay. So notice that this is going to give us 3 goes here, 3 goes here 4 times. This is going to give us 4 into p plus 5 being equal to, all right, 4 goes here once, 4 goes here 3. So that is 5 times 3 giving us 15. I believe that at this point it's easy to tackle this. So what basically we're going to do here is we're going to multiply, we're going to expand the left hand side, and so that's going to mean that we're going to have 4 times p giving us 4p, okay, plus 20 equals to 15. That is 5 times 4 times 5 giving us 20 there. All right, while we're expanding for that particular bracket there. So when we bring the terms that are known on one end and the one that is known on the other end, then we're going to have, so the unknown term, which is 4p, will be here, and we're going to have 15 minus, okay, 20. Remember, it is positive 20. If it goes to the right hand side, it changes its sign, and so we're going to have it as 4p being equal to 15 minus 20. So just a minute, let me draw a line here. So basically, for us to simplify, for us to continue with this, we're going to simplify it, and that's going to be 4p. 15 minus 20 is going to give us negative 5. Yes, 15 minus 20 is going to give us negative 5. I hope that you're comfortable with your integers. Anyways, so for us to find the value of p, we're going to divide both sides by 4. Okay, for us to find the value of p, we're going to divide both sides by 4. And so p will be equal to negative 5 all over 4, which simplifies to negative 1 and a quarter. 1 and a quarter. So that will be it for that example. So why don't we do the last example, then call it a vid. All right, so let us tackle the last example, then call it a video class. So anyways, we are having a slightly complicated example, but really not complicated. We just added 2 terms, but of course we still have x as the only unknown. All right, so the unknown hasn't changed, and so basically the instruction is that we're supposed to solve for the value of x. All right, remember, we're going to first, because this involves a situation where we have algebraic fractions. Yeah, so basically we're going to multiply all the terms in this particular equation by the LCM of these terms. So we're going to multiply it by the LCM of the denominators of these terms, that is 2, 3, and 8. All right, so the LCM of 2, 3, and 8 will be 24. So basically we're going to have 24 multiplying every term in this particular equation. Well, so basically we're going to have to take 2 divide by 24 divided by 2, and so that's going to give us 12. So for the first term, we're going to have 12 into, all right, x plus 1 minus, for the second term, we're going to have 24 divided by 3, okay? 24 divided by 3, and that is going to give us 8. So it's going to be negative 8 into x minus 2. So note that whatever is in the bracket is the numerator of each denominator. We've just maintained it. We haven't done anything to it, okay? Then we are going to have 8, okay? 24 divided by 8, okay, and that is going to give us 3 times 1 giving us 3. Now we have it in a format that then becomes easy to deal with. So basically after here, what we do is just do expansions and collect like terms, put unknown values on one side, and then solve for the value of x. So when we expand here, we're going to have 12x, that is 12 times x, plus 12 times 1 giving us 12. Good. Then we're going to have negative 8 times x giving us negative 8x. And then we're going to have negative 8 times negative 2. That is a negative number times a negative number. And that's going to give us a positive. So that's going to be a positive 16. All right. And all that will be equal to 3. Awesome. So now that we've expanded and removed the brackets that we were standing in the way, all right, we're going to collect like terms. Okay, and the essence of collecting like terms is so that we have all the unknown values, all the values that involve variables on one side of the equation. And those that are made of constant numbers, we're going to have them on the right hand side of the equation. So basically, we're going to have 12x, okay, minus 8x being equal to 3, okay. So we're going to pull 12 on the other end, so it's going to be negative 12 minus 16 there. So we have negative 12 minus 16 on the other side of the equation. Good. So what is 12x minus 8? Okay, 12x minus 8. 12x minus 8 is basically going to give us 6. No, not 6. Sorry, it's going to give us 4. So that's going to be 4x being equal to 3 minus 12 minus 16. Yes, so 3 minus 12 minus 16, and that is going to give us negative 25. That's going to give us negative 25. So for us to solve for x, we basically are going to divide both sides by 4. Okay, we're going to divide both sides by 4 for us to solve the value of x. And so notice when you divide both sides by 4, x will be equal to x will be equal to, in a moment. Awesome. X will be equal to negative 25 all over 4. All right, x will be equal to negative 25 all over 4. All right, which we can simplify further. And if we simplify it and write it as an improper fraction, as a mixed fraction in this particular case, if we simplify it and write it as a mixed fraction, it will be negative 6. Yes, negative 6 and a quarter. Negative 6 and a quarter. So that is it for this particular class. See you in the next one.